Ready to go there, Mike?
They're ready to go.
Okay. Welcome to another edition of Northern Heat. And today our special guest is Mike Petrovici. Mike, you've been on this on the Northern Heat before, but every other time you were opening up another restaurant or a bar or some other business. And today our landscape's a bit different.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling anyways today? How are things going for you?
Things are going good. I smell very nicely of sanitizer. So, I think that's the reality of our world today. It's good. We're just trying to do our best to navigate what what our normal is in today's world. So,
yeah, and you're absolutely right. Things have changed, right? So, especially in your world where it's really based on social and you have food business too. So both of those, I'm sure, are pretty much under attack these days because social distancing, gathering of groups, so on and so forth. So those things are brought in. But we talked about this a little bit about yesterday, and you've spent time right up front about how do you secure the business, how do you look at maintaining the cash flows, certain things that are more defensive modes. But we also talked about some of the things that you're looking towards the future on what the landscape's going to look like when the merry-go-round stops. So what are some of the things you'd like to share with us on what you're doing?
Well, I think once you get past the shock, which took about a week there at the beginning of this thing when I had to close two of my businesses, you start looking and seeing, okay, well, how long is this gonna last for? Is this ever gonna go back to normal? You're trying to listen to what everybody's saying, trying to get what the reality is out there. And after a while, I just decided that, I'm going to take this time and really educate myself on a lot of things, actually, and a lot of things from experts from the industry, from people who are already working in the industry. Everybody's has got some sort of an article coming out or some sort of a Zoom meeting or some sort of a webinar. So, I've tried to listen and look at as much content as I can. And try to make, because nobody really has an exact idea. Like, people have opinions, they think, it's going to be this way or this way. So you try to make your own opinion of what the future is going to look like, and then you start planning for it. So that's part of my kind of day-to-day of planning and really trying to visualize what the future is going to look like. Because while we might know what next week is going to look like, I have no idea what 6 months from now is going to look like, and I have no idea what a year and a half is going to look like, right? So,
and it's interesting you say that, because more and more people, like when I was kind of doing a lot of the same thing you're doing at first, and trying to figure out what it was going to be like in the future when the fog lifted, and everybody was in a fog, okay? But I find now that as we move forward a little bit more, things are starting to be a little bit more concrete. I don't know if it's because we're getting used to new normal, but it's I think what people are getting used to is change. And so realizing, okay, we need to adjust, we need to adapt, and you're trying to, there's no magic bullet.
No.
But what I hear you're doing, yeah, you wish, yeah. But what I hear you're saying is that you're actually taking bits and parts of ideas and stuff, right? Between people.
Yeah, what happened is, we're us humans, we're very we're very used to our habits, basically, so and I don't exactly remember the time it says for you to create a habit, but I'm pretty sure our current situation of 6 or 8 weeks, people have gotten in some habits, and that might translate, because there's not going to be a magic solution that's going to happen this week or next week. So this might continue for a while. So these habits are going to become more and more ingrained. So how does that impact businesses like mine, which are, where people go and kind of, mingle, or they go for a meal together to have that social connection. How is that going to impact for the future, right? How is technology play into all of this? How is, Zoom? Like I've never heard of Zoom before COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what's Zoom? And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. I know I had a Zoom with my parents, and now we're like video chatting on a weekly basis. So the same thing for work, right? You have work meetings via Zoom. You have, you can't go and see anybody anymore. You can't go and see your accountant. You have to do a Zoom or a phone call. So a lot of things are changing, and I think it's really going to change a lot of businesses and a lot of the way businesses operate in the future.
But you got to be ready to accept that and try to figure out a way out, which I'm hearing you say.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to sit down right now, take this time, because, I don't know about everybody else. I know obviously our business is down, quite a bit. So, I take the time right now to plan for this. What's coming? How can I get ahead of the curve to really be ready for whatever this new normal is going to look like? What technologies out there? Who's doing what? So, and there's lots, and there's, I myself too, you can get overwhelmed with stuff, overwhelmed with information. I could be on webinar literally every hour of the day.
Yeah.
If I would subscribe to every single webinar that's hitting my my mailbox right now, I could be on webinars and do nothing else but watch people talk about different things. And people talk about cash flow, people talk about how to get a loan, or everybody's got great information to share, but it can be overwhelming. So you have to really pick and choose what you want to focus on. So
well, Mike, I knowing you and knowing what you've been able to do over the last couple of years with the businesses that you put together downtown, I think that you're going to put your mind together and you're going to come up with something you already have. Like I hear that you've got another career going on as Exotic Mike. So if anybody,
my own tiger too.
So if nobody has seen Mike perform, would be the way to put it. Go on the Pita Pit website for Bathurst and watch some of the videos that you put together. And thank you for doing that, because it makes you kind of feel good.
You know what? Also, if people want to go and check out a zoo, it's free at Pita Pit. If you go inside, there's a little cage with all the animals. So please don't feed the animals. You might lose an arm there because they're pretty vicious. But by all means, it's as free of charge. You can just go.
Okay. Well, there we go. Free petting zoo in downtown Bathurst on Main Street at the Pita Pit. Okay, so we'll get that out there. The other thing too is that before we go, is that I would like to invite people to talk to Mike. Mike, you and I have talked about this before, but get a hold of Mike. Call me up, and I'm sure there's a lot of us that have all kinds of ideas. We've got a network in our region, and I think we should use it. And we should just to bounce ideas around themselves. Like, it's great to listen to all these experts all over the place, but I think that we have experts and we have some brilliant people in our region that might have good ideas, right? And so if we can share.
Absolutely, and sharing is very important. I think we're so small here in Chaleur, in the region. Like, if you think about it, we're the size of a small neighborhood in a large urban center, right? So, and I think we do have an opportunity to help each other and work together and try to come out of this this all stronger and better for it, because it's the whole community, it's the whole business community, it's the whole just people. Like, it impacts everybody, and it'd be great for all of us to come alive, because I know obviously it's a stressful and very deeply impactful thing for businesses today, but we'll work together and we'll come out of this together.
Well, they're talking about this all across Canada. We can do this, and we can do it together. We are a small community. Let's talk to each other. Let's get out and ask these kind of questions. I don't think there's anybody going to hide anything from anybody at this point in the game. We're all out here to make sure that we all survive, as you say. So how can we help each other out? So, Mike, thank you very much for participating today in this interview. Really appreciate it. I wish you the best. If you need anything from anybody, just yell out, and there'll be people there to step up to the plate, I'm sure, including me.
Okay. Thanks for having me too.
Well, I appreciate it. And what I'd like to do is give everybody a message out there to create a safe space for yourself and all the people that are closest to you. So again, thank you very much, Mike. Good luck with all your new endeavors and your thought process. And I've got some ideas flowing in my head, and that we can get Exotic Mike more involved here a little bit. All right. So thank you very much.
Thanks.